Hello and welcome to my channel. This is PaPaw's Projects. Stick around and find out why I think this is my best 3D printer. Well, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to give you an update on the progress that I have made over the last few days on this build from scratch 3D printer made of junkyard components and bought motors and control boards and homemade bits and pieces to put it all together. So before we get started, let me say that if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll receive notifications anytime I upload new content, and you'll be able to come back and view past videos anytime you want and keep up with the progress. So let's go. First of all, the reason I say this is my best 3D printer is because it's my first 3D printer and it's my only 3D printer at this point, but it's the best because I'm building this one from scratch. I didn't buy a kit. I didn't buy one that was pre-built. I took the hard road and wanted to see if I could build one on my own. And so far, I think it's coming along pretty well. I don't see why it won't work. It's just taken me a little while to get there, but I'm happy with it. It's coming along. So let me show you today what I have done over the last few days in the way of progress. Let me go to a split screen here and let's see if I can show you. I have gotten my X-axis rails mounted. They're not finished yet, but it's a good start. I got everything mounted up. It's loose right now. It's not tight because I don't have it all completely designed the way I want it yet, but my axis does move. My X-axis does move. I got the hot end mounted, made the mount, got all the homemade bushings on there. The bushings I'm making out of 1/2 inch CPVC pipe and reaming them out to 1/2 inch. So it's a little bit sticky. The rails still have a little bit of cosmoline on them. They need to be oiled up and it'll move a little freer once I get it done. But right now I'm just kind of roughing it in and it's working. It's actually pretty smooth. It's a little bit tight, but I think we're going to be fine when we get her done. I got my X-axis motor mounted with the lead screw. I still have to make the mount to go to the back of the carriage block here so that I can put my my lead screw nut into it, and then that one will be ready to travel back and forth. And I have to make some gussets or brackets or something. I've got an idea in mind. I'm going to see how it pans out. I have to stiffen it up because, as you can see, the way I have it, now keep in mind it's loose, but it'll do a little bit of racking here, and I want to take that out. So I'm going to have to make something to secure that so that I don't get that motion. Can't have that in there. But I think I've got a handle on it, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's see. I have my Y-axis done. I've got the platform made, the rails, got my lead screw mount in, lead screw and the motors in. Ended up cutting a hole in the aluminum tubing here and just mounting the motor straight to the tubing inside it. It gives it a ton of strength because it's sitting flat on the bottom of the tubing and bolted the face of the motor is bolted directly into the side of this aluminum tubing. So in essence, what I ended up with is this entire front tube is a heat sink. So that should help that motor stay cool completely. Beyond that, I think the majority of my progress lately has been in my control box. And what I've got here, you've already seen in the other video where I've folded up the box and made it to fit an ATX computer power supply. And then in one of the other videos, I took the hand nibblers and cut out the square hole for the screen. And today, what I ended up doing was mounting the display, mounting the Arduino Mega and the Ramps board and a Raspberry Pi 2 in here. And if you remember in one of the videos that I've done before, I said that I was going to use some plastic clips that I had left over from furnace control boards. That didn't work out. Those clips, the diameter of the pins on those clips was way too big for the printed circuit boards. So I had to scrap that idea. So what I ended up doing was I took and I had some small poly tubing and I clipped off little standoffs out of that tubing. And then I took M3 screws and ran through the sheet metal and then put the standoff on there out of that tubing, and then the board, and then an M3 nut. And everything is good and clear. Nothing's touching the metal. It's solid as a rock, and it worked out good. The spacing, I got the spacing pretty good on my display here. So let me see if I can give you a close-up view of the inside there. It all worked out pretty well. And then what I'll end up doing is mounting my ATX power supply in there. And it'll go in there, something like that. So we're getting closer. I'm not ready for that just quite yet, but that was the plan. Let's see, I also cut some holes in the front, drilled some holes in the front. I may have to open that up some more. I got to do a little calculating and see. That may not be quite enough airflow yet, so I may put some more holes in there, or I might cut them into slots or something to increase the airflow. But the way I've got this set up is it should draw nice, clean, fresh air in from the front here and draw the air straight across all of the boards evenly, and then exhaust through the power supply and out the fan. So I think I'm going to have good cooling in this box. I think it's going to work out well. And by using the ATX power supply, I've already got the switch, I've already got the plug for the cord. It's all good to go. It was pretty easy and didn't cost me anything. Computer power supplies are a dime a dozen. You can find them everywhere. So that's going to work out pretty well, I believe. So that has kind of wrapped up what I've made progress on in the last few days. I think you've seen everything else that I have made so far. I have mounted the motor and the lead screw for the X-axis. And you're going to see, I'm sure you've noticed that I'm not using any belts here. When I kind of designed this in my head, I knew because of making everything by hand, from scratch, the tolerances are not going to be exact. Nothing about it is exact, but close enough is what I'm hoping for to be able to get it to work. And then once I get it working, then I can fine tune it and make it more exact. And my goal is to get it to where I can print, and then once I get it printing, then I will make new corners. I'll print new corners and take the wooden ones out. I'll make new motor mount brackets and I'll take these sheet metal ones out. should be able to start upgrading it very quickly once I get it printing to start with. But anyway, I did not go with belts. I went with lead screws all the way around because I wanted more torque. I was afraid that these little motors wouldn't have enough torque to overcome the resistance of the homemade bearings and all that. So with the lead screws, I'll have more torque out of them and be able to hopefully overcome that, I believe. It will be slow. It's not going to be a speed demon because these are single start screws. So I get less travel per revolution on the screws. That, you know, like I said, that's going to slow it down, but it's going to give it more torque. It's a better gear ratio for it. So starting out, I don't care if it's slow as long as it moves. At this point, I think that's all the upgrades that I've done since my last video. It is coming along and it's starting to pick up speed. The next things are going to be, once I get my braces in here and get that secure and stable, get the power supply mounted in this box and the box buttoned up, then we're going to be ready for wiring and firmware, and I'm excited for that part. I'm looking forward to be able to get the wiring and everything squared away and mounted and get that firmware in there so I can turn the power on. So check back, we're getting close. If you want to see if this thing runs or lets the smoke out, keep an eye out. Like I said, subscribe and ring that bell because we're getting down to the wire now. It's either going to be a success or it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a success. So other than that, let me just say before I go, please go read the links in the description. I have links in the description for a lot of things. I have links to all the components that I bought for this. I have links to special deals. I have links if you would like to help support the channel and help move it along, make better content, better projects, faster. All those links are down below, so please check them out. I'll also tell you, as you can see on the screen, there are a couple QR codes there. One of them is GearBest affiliate, so if you have something you'd like to purchase on GearBest, I'd appreciate it if you would either go to the description and follow the link to GearBest. Might get a few cents on whatever you buy. It'll help support the channel. Anything that comes in will go back into the channel, not go in my pocket per se, but help the channel grow and get better. And the other one you'll see on there is an Amazon affiliate link that I put that takes you directly to filament. I've been lately trying to keep an eye on the filament deals because I don't have a lot of money, so I would want to know when there's cheap filament out there. Someday, hopefully, I can buy the high-end stuff for certain projects, but for the most part, you know, I just need the cheap stuff to use to debug the machine and tinker and fine-tune. I don't want to be using expensive filament, so I kind of keep an eye on the PLA, mostly filament, and I put that link on there, so if you wanted to, you could just take your phone, scan it right off the computer screen, and go in there and buy anything you want. I do also have in the links below in the description, there are affiliate links to other pages, not just the filament. You can go straight to the home page or the today's hot deals or whatever. There's links down there for several things, but anything you buy on Amazon or GearBest just helps the channel. So check those out. I would appreciate it. And also, please like, follow, subscribe, share. If you know anybody else that is wanting to try to build a printer on their own and you think they might be interested in this, please share or retweet or whatever. Help spread the word. You can find me just about anywhere under PaPawsProjects. I am on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. So it's not hard to find me. Just look for Papaw's Projects and you'll find me somewhere. So that being said, I will get out of here and get back to some more progress so I can get another video up soon. So thanks for stopping by, and come back and see me, and have a wonderful day.